Coming up this week, off screen,
Jennifer Lawrence is a Red Sparrow.
Jason Bateman invites us to game night.
We meet the Monster Family.
There's an incident at the Nile Hilton.
And Daniela Vega is a fantastic woman.
All those to come and more, off screen.
This is off screen. Off screen. The latest film news and reviews. This is Offscreen, the on-screen radio show.
Ooh, welcome off screen. I'm Van Connor.
I am Kase Allen. Happy snow day.
Yeah, happy snow day to you too, because we're recording this a day later than usual this week. This is what, Thursday the 1st of March, is it today?
It is.
And yeah, it is. It is an ice block outside. It is like Hoth out there.
It is like the opening of The Thing.
It is indeed.
Yeah,
actually,
and other snow-related films as well.
I feel like it's more like the end of The Thing when you're kind of just sat there waiting to die in the cold.
It is, yeah, and it's just white everywhere. Yeah,
exactly.
I've been stranded for like 2 days. It's been really nice. You came to me today with
I did, yeah.
Yeah, a car and supplies and stuff.
I did, it was great. And we did the shopping runs, that was fun. So
see, we're friends.
See, we do friendly work proximity associate things. So before we get to the news and reviews, we got some great reviews this week. Box office top 5, all the usual fun and cinematic refinement. We need a piece of film news to kick us off. So, Mr. Allen, take it away, sir.
Let's talk about a big story from last week that took a lot of people by surprise, and then everyone thought that it was going to be really, really terrible news, and then it looks like it's okay.
Is it that they still plan to make a Luther movie? Is that it?
Are they still planning to make a Luther movie?
Well, apparently. That's apparently a thing, yeah.
I'm in for that.
Yeah, I'm totally in.
I need to see that jacket one more time.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
No, Kevin Smith had a massive heart attack.
He did, yes. Yeah. And you know the thing,
and the entire internet imploded.
It did
for a day.
It imploded being concerned for him, then it imploded because they wanted to hate Chris Pratt for wishing
yes,
him
we'll talk about that as well.
But the weird thing was, Kevin Smith has been such a part of my pop culture life for so long now.
Same.
That when he had his heart attack, and it was revealed in all the news coverage that he was 47 years old, my first thought was, there's no way, because it feels like yesterday he was 37, because 37 is a special
37.
number. Yeah, in Clerks terms. But
in a row?
That was 10 years ago.
10.
Wow.
10 years, man.
10 years, man.
Yeah, that's mad. I think he was in his early to mid 20s when he made Clerks. When he got all the credit cards out to to finance Clerks.
Very true. I love that whenever anyone's asked him about doing that for starting to doing their first film, he's like, "Don't do it. Just don't do it.
It is dangerous."
He was so lucky.
Yeah, you don't know if it's going to pay off. But he had loads of support, loads of well wishers, and
he did.
I mean, if anything good has kind of come from it, it kind of shows how many people still
care about Kevin Smith, which is nice, actually.
Yeah, because obviously he's kind of changed his career trajectory
significantly.
I don't even see him as being a director anymore. He's got.
I don't.
No, they've been prepping to do Jane Silent Bob reboot that started in the summer. I don't know whether this affects those plans.
Well, in some of his communications, because obviously since he was hospitalised, the reason we all know about it actually is because he put a post on social network from his hospital.
He's very vocal. He's got a good
But he did say as part of it, because he was talking about how actually when he thought he might die there and then, actually he was kind of okay with it because his life rocked. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
really,
it's kind of great. Yeah,
he has a great life.
He's had a really great life.
If I got to literally do whatever I want, wear hockey jerseys and smoke pot all day, I mean, sign me up. That's a great life.
Podcasting is I think maybe his main source of income. He directs.
He produces a lot, which is kind of a no-show producer as well.
Like Comic Book Men.
Yeah.
I think that brings in quite a lot.
I don't know, because he's actually on Comic Book Men as a show, isn't he? He actually has to. That's part of his week.
Yeah, but he's not always in it.
No, he's not. Yeah. But when they actually do the bookending bit sort of thing.
Yeah, but you've got to imagine that they kind of shoot that of 1 or 2 days. It's not
possible.
Yeah. The Chris Pratt thing, we should talk about.
Oh, God, yes.
So amongst people sending messages, well wishes stuff. Chris Pratt put something on Twitter to the effect of, "We don't really know each other that well, but I've been a massive fan since Clerks came out, and I believe in the power of prayer."
I thought he said something like my thoughts and prayers are with you or something like that.
Well, that's what he said afterwards. He said, my thoughts and prayers are with you. And that has become a bit of a catalyst. That line.
Yeah,
Thoughts and prayers.
Why?
It's because obviously a lot of just politicians will say that will say sending thoughts and prayers every time there's a mass shooting or some kind of big event that's happened, and he just seems like an empty gesture, which I don't think this was. Kevin Smith said he didn't take it as an empty gesture. It's just
I read the tweet. I read the original tweet before all the controversy, and I was like, yeah, cool. Yeah, cool.
I just think there's been a massive backlash against him for the last year, I would say.
Yeah, I think people have just got to the stage. Kevin Smith's down, kick him. I think there's just that. To be fair, based on his last few films, yeah, kick him. But kick him for those. Don't kick him for having a heart attack.
What are you talking about? Kick Kevin Smith.
Kick him for Tusk and Red State. Yeah, don't kick him for having a heart attack.
Who's been kicking him for having a heart attack?
No, while having a heart attack, sorry.
This got very misconstrued.
This really did. This really went right off the rails. So we need to review. Anyway, we need to get back on topic somehow. So we need to talk about Red Sparrow.
Yeah,
which
Black Widow, the film.
Black Widow, Red Sparrow. Yeah, that's a weird one, isn't it?
Maybe just call it something else.
Yeah. Okay, so basically the general crux of this is, do you remember that Rebecca Ferguson, like little low-level Rebecca Ferguson vehicle we had last year, the year before? The sort of Cold War era spy one. I forget.
Yeah, vaguely.
Something like Snow in November or something like that. This is kind of weirdly reminds me of that. This is Jennifer Lawrence as a contemporary, as in modern day girl who gets involved in a murder and then either faces prison or has to become a spy. So you've got a bit of Nikita in there. This is all set in Russia. She plays a Russian ballet dancer, and I sort of feel like I said belly dancer, but ballet dancer. It's like a Nikita-like program that sort of breaks her down, teaches her to become a lethal machine and cold, emotionless object, and they're going to send her out into the world to catch a mole for them. We have a clip of Charlotte Rampling as the I want to say Black Widow instructor, but
kind of is.
Yeah, the Sparrow instructor. Here's a clip.
From this day forward, you will become sparrows, weapons in a global struggle for power. Every human being is a puzzle of need. You must learn to intuit what is missing, become the missing piece, and they will give you anything. Take off your clothes. Your body belongs to the state. Since your birth, the state nourished it. Now the state asks something in return. You must learn to sacrifice for a higher purpose. To push yourself beyond all limitation. And forget the sentimental morality with which you were raised.
Do you spot a very, very obvious subtext to any of that by any chance?
No. It's far too subtle.
Okay, well, yeah, exactly. You could genuinely retitle this movie Jennifer Lawrence's iCloud account, the movie.
Yeah,
and because there's a lot of what feels like reactionary response going on. There's a lot of, because Jennifer Lawrence was so front and center in that scandal, only about 18
when she
months
was
ago.
hacked. And
obviously her private information and photos were revealed to the world, and that vulnerability has brought back this movie in which she basically answers that back and takes complete ownership of herself. What you have is a movie about a young woman who is asked to give over any sense of agency, to live in complete servitude, both psychological and physical, to actually her body is an instrument of the state, as we're told in that clip. And this is something that is to be used largely at the expense of men. This is, it's there for men to take advantage of. It is the overriding premise of the movie. And she plays it really well. The problem is, she's playing it well. The character isn't there, though, because once the character becomes that instrument and that psychological, and obviously that for the purposes of narrative, there has to be some pushback. That has to be the storyline. But other than that, there isn't much to the sort of psychological heft behind the character. There's nothing really there. There's no substance or worth to it. And that's not helped by a script that can't quite pick a tone to lean into. And it thinks it's playing it straight, but what it's actually doing is walking a fine line between going into excessive, think Alias territory, Alias or J.J. Abrams' Mission Impossible kind of territory, or that wants to be really highbrow and go for something like, I don't know, Salt, for example.
It's sort of highbrow.
For what it is. I mean, it's not Citizen Kane.
Any film with True Television you thought was more highbrow than this.
Chewie shows up, makes everything more highbrow. That's why Kinky Boots was an Oscar nominee. Anyway. I'm kidding. I'm not
I don't think it is, but I wish that it was.
Wouldn't it be nice if we lived in that world? Anyway, Red. Anyway, so what you've got as a film, as I say, that doesn't want to lean into the exploitative side. It doesn't want to lean into the overly intelligent side, and it feels like it's doing everything with one hand tied behind its back as a result. You wish it was either dumber or smarter. And that's the problem. It treads too fine a line between the two. And if you wouldn't like that in a person if you met them. So the idea that you'll sit...
I don't like most people.
It's true. But the idea that you'll sit through what is actually an overly long film at 2 hours and I think 19 minutes as well is... And you do feel it. There's not an awful lot of character for really anyone involved. I mean, Matty Shoes does show up and he does, own the place.
Yeah, Jeremy Zion is in it.
Jeremy Zion is it. He's hamming it up. Matty Shoes is going for I am the sexy Putin. And
is that what we're calling him now?
Sexy Putin, totally.
Putin.
Like that's a biopic. In like 15, 20 years,
it's the new like young Pope, isn't it?
It is. But we need a biopic in which Will Smith plays Obama and Matty Shoes plays Putin. We absolutely need that movie. And I don't know. So Francis Lawrence directs it pretty well. It's very slick. It's very cool. But the problem is the substance really isn't there. And that substance isn't helped by being positioned squarely in the middle of two very distinct and very opposing tones that don't quite work and it won't decide between. Other than that, I mean, it's just not that entertaining, to be honest, as a result. And I can't in good conscience recommend it. It's fine, I guess.
Go see Black Panther again.
Yeah, just
if you've got to see one film this week where it's a colour and an animal, go see Black Panther.
That is very, very true, isn't it? Also, I'm sorry, but Red Sparrow, given the colour scheme of the title, that should have been Jeremy Saulnier's next title. That really should
have been, yeah.
Should have been Blue Ruin.
Should have been the third of a trilogy.
Yeah, Blue Ruin, Green Room,
Red Sparrow.
Red Sparrow, that would have been terrific, wouldn't it?
Would have been much, much better.
Indeed. So before we go, let's plug the podcast real quick. Extended podcast edition. You're going to love our moment of Cage this week because I went all the way back.
I ain't got the capacity to love.
I went all the way back to 2007 for our moment of Cage this week. So you know what a vintage Cage is.
11 years.
That's a vintage Cage year.
I'm going to try and guess what it is. 2007.
You're never going to guess it because I'd forgotten it existed.
Knowing?
It's not Knowing. Knowing's 2008.
Oh, I was close. I was close. Fine, 1 year out.
Actually, not went out in 2007 of his Next.
That was going to be my next answer.
Next was going to be next. Okay, fair enough. I need to watch that again. It sucked, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Anyway, podcast edition. There's more stuff after the end credits, outside the radio edit, more reviews that we can't fit into the show. Not this week, but some weeks. We always put film news in, though, and of course, we will sign it off every week with the moment of Cage, a little treat for our podcast loyalists, as it were. I feel like we're starting some sort of fundamentalist cult there. Loyalists.
You are. Yeah. I'm no part of
No,
this.
you're no part of it. It's the independent movement of Van. Acast, iTunes, Deezer, pick your podcast platform of preference, and guess what? We're on there.
With the latest film news and reviews. This is Offscreen, the on-screen radio show.
I love that ident. I really do. Yeah. It's just nice to be reminded of Peter Serafinovich every week.
If he could be in more films playing his John Wick character.
Yes, absolutely. I hope he's in John Wick.
Is it the Sommelier?
Sommelier, yes. Yeah. It's basically arms dealer, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk. I'm really looking forward to talking about this. The Nile Hilton Incident. I did send you the screening link for it, but it didn't look like anything particularly exciting, so I understand you having not watched it.
I've not looked at my emails for a week. It's been a really nice week. It's been good.
That's fair. So this is set just before the revolution in Cairo. So this is set in the square, in Tahrir Square, was it about 2011, I want to say? January 2011. And what you've got is effectively a story that takes place outside of those events. This is effectively a hard-boiled, corrupt cop detective noir drama taking place against the backdrop of the impending revolution. And in the background, you get sort of the murmuring, the seething rise of the people as they sort of prepare for the big revolution. It's like if you made The Shield. Imagine you wanted to make a movie version of The Shield. and you wanted to make it for an Egyptian audience, that's what you get.
With no Michael Chiklis.
With no Michael Chiklis.
Then why do it?
Exactly. Actually, they do a pretty good job. This is actually a Turkish film, of all things, as well. It comes to us by Tariq Saleh. I say it's a Turkish film. I've not looked into Tariq Saleh, but I'm going to guess, given his name, he actually might be Egyptian, which would make sense, because it does have very much an imbued systemic love of not so much older Egyptians, but certainly of the late 90s kind of Egyptian cinema. For obvious reasons, I've seen my unfair share of Egyptian cinema. So thanks, Dad. But,
cheers for that, pal.
Cheers, Dad. Cheers, Dad. Yep. Far more Egyptian cinema than I in any way should have actually seen in my lifetime. But yes, this actually works as not a parody, but a very loving throwback picture. And it all centres around Faras Fairs as Noruddin Mustafa, who's this sort of Vic Mackey-like detective who's investigating this case. It is genuinely gripping. It never goes too silly with its retro stylings. It never goes like, Black Dynamite or anything. It doesn't go into spoofery. But it's
not selling drugs to the community. Exactly. But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community.
I love that movie. And we're getting a sequel now, aren't we?
We are.
But no, I really love the way this is put together. Do you remember The Love Witch a couple of years ago?
Yes.
How that was.
Was that last year, maybe?
I feel like it was a couple of years ago. Yeah. It probably was actually last year, but I feel like it was a couple of years ago. The way that was a very affectionate homage without descending into parody or spoof or taking its material anything less than the level of seriousness it required. This is very much in that vein. And I was really hooked by it. Did not expect to be at all. And total confession, by the way, because of all the stuff with the weather the last couple of days, I missed the screening for this. But luckily, they obviously provided us with the link, so I was able to watch it. And even on a small screen, it still had that great, almost grindhousey throwback feel to it. And I really loved it. I really bought the characters. I really bought Faras Fairaz's performance at the centre of it. I thought he was a genuinely compelling figure. It very much cliched, sort of, slick parting, leather jacket, suit and tie kind of a cop as well. Very much in the sort of Vic Mackey mould. I loved it. And no, definitely check this out. I don't know how easy it'll actually be to find, but...
I've got it in my emails, apparently.
Well, you've got it in your emails, yeah.
So,
but it is...
Not to brag.
But this is definitely worth seeing. You should absolutely check it out. Over to you then, sir, for something of the newsage variety.
Newsage. Comic book films, let's talk about those.
Well, we never talk about those.
Never.
It's so rare. We don't get them that often.
A week goes by, we're looking for news, we want to talk about Black Panther. I'm going to try to mention it in every section today, because why not? It's pretty good. But, DC actually did make a pretty great Wonder Woman film.
They did. That's the
Don't say
one
it.
thing they did.
I feel like you were going to say something else.
You know exactly what I was going to say.
I feel like everyone listening knows what you were going to say and what you currently think. So let's just say, on the whole, it was very good.
Wonder Woman's very good. Wonder Woman's good. I will say that Wonder Woman's good. I like Wonder Woman.
Are you saying Wonder Woman as a character is good?
The movie Wonder Woman is good. I like it.
Good.
Okay.
So you will see number 2.
Of course, I will see number 2.
That's great. And apparently,
got 2 eyes and a heart, haven't
I? I'm not made of stone. Like everyone making the DC films, apart from Patty Jenkins.
Exactly, yeah.
Apparently, we have got a villain for Wonder Woman 2.
We've got a villainess, haven't we? Because it's Cheetah.
Cheetah.
We knew a couple of weeks ago that the villainess was going to be Cheetah.
Which is pretty cool.
Which is great. I've never encountered her in the comics, but I've seen her in like animated movies and things.
Yeah, I have played as her in the Lego DC superhero.
Is she a playable character? I didn't know.
Yeah, in the third one, I think. Yeah, it's pretty. I'm still not entirely sure what her powers are. She just looks like a cat, moves like a cat.
I think she just has cat powers. That's she's cat abilities.
Well, apparently, cats are in Black Panther.
Cats are doing big business at the moment.
But going back to Cheetah, apparently going to be played by Kristen Wiig.
Oh my god, that's good.
Who is amazing.
It's such out-of-the-box casting.
So I feel like that would really work.
That might be...
That's like Keaton as Batman.
It is. Yeah. But I think, actually, it might be the most out-of-the-box casting, the most unexpected left-field turn for a superhero villain casting since, and I don't use this one lightly, Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
It has that feel to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, why on earth would you get Kristen Wiig unless she went into an interview room and did something really special? Because that's what had to happen with Heath Ledger.
Because obviously, as characters, Cheetah is nowhere I mean, not the same as Joker, obviously, but in terms of Wonder Woman, I feel like she's pretty big.
She's a pretty big Wonder Woman villain. The Wonder Woman villains aren't generally sort of known in the mainstream because Wonder Woman isn't terribly known in the mainstream outside of the basic iconography of the actual character herself. I mean,
it's kind of like Iron Man villains, isn't it? Like.
Well, that's the thing. Actually, arguably, the classic Iron Man villains, they've not really properly used yet. Because there's the Spy Master, for instance, they've never used. And the drag...
People argue,
Fin Fang Foom?
Fin Fang Foom.
They've not used... That would be amazing, by the way.
Who also is a playable character in the Marvel Lego game.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
But also, I'm sorry, but they misused one of my favourite villains, who was Aldrich Killian in Iron Man 3. Because I really wanted
I'm still fine with that whole.
I really wanted to see that book done as a movie.
Do you remember when the last trailer for the first Avengers came out? Like the final 4 trailer where you see the big Chitauri dragon thing.
That's the one. Yeah.
When that ended the trailer, everyone online was like, "It's Fin Fang Foom." Like Fin Fang Foom was going to be Avengers.
Yeah, I remember. That's God. We really clutch at straws in these movies.
Wasn't the case.
But yeah, Kristen Wiig, I'm totally on board with.
As am I. Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, she's never in anything this high profile. And she's never.
Also, you look at some of the choices she's made in recent years. Like you look at roles in things that you just wouldn't expect. Like even like The Martian. Even The Martian was not a choice.
She's in Mother for 2 minutes.
Mother as well. Yeah. What was the Welcome to Me?
Welcome to Me.
Which was a very daring.
Skeleton Twins. Don't know if you saw that.
I loved that.
Bill Hader.
I love that movie. How did I know you'd be a fan?
Because I know who Stefan is.
Because you've got 2 eyes and a heart, don't you?
Yeah.
You introduced me to Stefan, actually, didn't you? Yeah. The character in the Saturday Night Live. I love that character. That needs to be a movie.
New York Science Club.
Oh my God, I'd watch that as a movie, wouldn't you? Just Bill Hader as that character.
I'm sure that they must have done a treatment for it or had a meeting. But like, it just seems obvious.
Something like where he gets involved in like a comedic thriller whilst on a night out going around the club scene.
Yeah, like he's finding all the clubs
Yeah.
to do like his weekend correspondent thing on SNL.
Yeah. And he gets involved in some criminal scheme by accident.
There's like mafia.
There's
midgets there because he always talks about midgets
he
on
does,
SNL.
Yes. Yeah. God, that's a movie. Come on, Lorne, produce this, man.
Talks about human pinata.
He does, yes.
Human fire hydrant.
Let's not delve too deeply into those ones.
Just go onto YouTube.
So can I talk about something so much less fun?
But I like fun.
I like fun too, but unfortunately...
Fun is fun.
Yeah, unfortunately I've seen Monster Family. So, like I say, we're recording this on Thursday the 1st of March, right? This will...
You nearly said February.
I nearly did, yeah. This actually becomes available to all Sky customers as of Friday the 2nd. So it's in cinemas, but it's also on Sky Cinema. So I presume that means it's in like 5 cinemas, and it's on Sky Cinema. And this is one of 2 films recently, the first one being Birth of the Dragon last week, which was awful. And don't worry, one of the people in that film does get some redemption. Anyway, they will this week, I promise. Someone from Birth of the Dragon is getting redeemed ever so slightly. But yeah, these are Sky Cinema movies that they're putting into small numbers of cinemas, but then actually putting as that day's premiere on Sky Cinema. Because, like, the last week, I've had the chance to watch Birth of the Dragon about 26 times.
Yeah, do you know what? I was looking on Now TV a couple of days ago. I saw it on there.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Don't watch it. Whatever you do, it's awful. It's a Bruce Lee movie that's not about Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
About his white mate, Steve. You know, that's how these things work.
They mistrick just by not calling it White Man Steve. or White Mate Steve.
Exactly. So, yeah, this is very much... Do you remember that one a few months ago, Monster Island?
Yes.
Yeah. I think the people who made this might not have known about that coming because there's a lot of shared ground here. This is about a regular suburban family. The mum tries calling a costume store. It's an animated film, by the way, animated movie. I think it's Spanish or German originally. It's been redubbed into English. It's known as Happy Family internationally. The mum of this suburban family tries calling a costume shop to arrange for some things for the family Halloween costumes. She accidentally calls Count Dracula.
Nice.
Who's voiced by Jason Isaacs. Hello, Jason Isaacs. And she, by the way, is Emily Watson. Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. And she calls Dracula, and over the course of this 30-second phone call, he falls in love with her. And he decides he has to have her, but he can't turn her into a vampire himself because then she'll lose her soul, and so he has to find a way to get Baba Yaga, the local witch, to put a curse on her and turn her into a vampire. And the way this backfires is by turning the entire family into the Halloween costume they're wearing. So if you ever saw that Buffy episode, Halloween, season 2, midway through, that, basically, as a sort of animated family feature film. The dad is Nick Frost, by the way.
Oh,
so
nice.
He gets turned into a Frankenstein's monster. You've got the daughter who gets turned into a mummy. You've got the son who gets turned into like a wolf boy. The mum gets turned into, vampiress. And then you've got, Jason Isaacs as Dracula.
Dad? Oh, that's Dad.
What have you done to my family?
Opala, actually, I only wanted to transform you. If everyone is transformed, then everyone must be unhappy.
I'm transformed?
See for yourself.
Oh, Baba Yaga, by the way, is Catherine Tate. And she's this little witch. Anyway, this isn't very good. It really isn't.
Really?
No.
I am shocked and appalled.
It's not that it's badly animated. It's actually it's quite high end in terms of the animation. You actually look at what it is. The design and the craft of the animation is actually of a reasonably high standard. You could look at this and actually, sight unseen, you could feasibly mistake this for a DreamWorks film very easily. The problem is that although the animation's there, the story isn't, and it's really lackluster and uninteresting. And you look at it and think, I think even young children wouldn't be particularly taken in by this, because outside of bright visuals, there really is no excitement or suspense to get a hold of. It's trying, but it's not quite there. And you kind of wish the family would break up, so to speak, in terms of the film. But yeah, it just didn't hold my interest at all. And they try throwing a couple of very tame gags in there for the parents, but obviously,
I'll be honest, it's not really held my interest. In fact, I've been on Will Smith's his Instagram account. There's a picture of him and Ang Lee wearing like matching bee
husbandry things, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah. That's been more entertaining than
listening to me talk about this.
No disrespect for you talking about it. Disrespect on the plot.
No, that's fine. Incidentally, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I've been keeping this from you for years. When you're looking at your laptop or your phone,
you can see in my glasses.
The screen reflects on your glasses. Yeah.
Damn my terrible eyesight.
So I pretty much always know what you're looking at.
Just close that browser down.
So if you wouldn't mind putting the porn away, sir, we'll be back after the jump
with the latest film news and reviews. This is Offscreen, the on-screen radio show.
Sounds really good on a guitar, that theme, doesn't it? I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I've put the porn away.
Oh, you put the porn away. Oh, that's excellent. Okay, well, I appreciate the courtesy. Thank you. It's just if I don't get to enjoy it, you don't either. So no.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable enjoying it with.
No, we don't have to enjoy it together.
No.
It's fine. Don't worry about that. So, shall we do a quick review of A Fantastic Woman then?
Yeah, I've heard good things. I don't know if I've heard fantastic things, but I've heard good things, and it's nominated for Best Foreign Language Film at the Oscars.
It is, isn't it?
On Sunday.
Which nation is this from now? What country is this actually from in terms of the Oscars?
Quick question. Is it Chile?
I'm honestly not sure. Oh, I think it is, yes. I think I believe it is.
Yeah.
It does actually tell you if you go to...
Chile.
Yes, it's Chile.
Yes.
Spoken languages. I knew the spoken language was Spanish, obviously. But I didn't know. Right, so this is the story of Marina, played by Daniela Vega. Marina is a transsexual woman who's a waitress and a singer. She's like a, kind of classically cinematic nightclub singer. She's in a relationship with the man of her dreams. A much older man who he's her entire world. He then dies one day, and as his funeral then comes ever closer, she has to deal with his family. And what you're left with then is an atmosphere of prejudice, of dismissal. They don't want her to attend the funeral. They want her out of his flat. They want her to be removed from any memory of his life. And it's the sort of the sort of soulful journey that she takes along the way to basically going through the day and trying to get through all of this. Obviously, it's in Spanish language, so I don't have a clip, but it's a very interesting film in terms of its characters. The characters are genuinely great, but it's one of those cases where the characters are great and the story isn't. The story simply isn't there. Once you get past the initial setup of the conflict, the kind of between character conflict, once you get past that setup, there's not really anywhere for it to go. It's not a film that sets out for resolution. It's not a film that sets out for a teachable moment. It's not about overcoming prejudice or anything like that. It's simply, literally, okay, let's just get through this. I mean, it's about as fun as actually going through a funeral for, those few days leading up to a funeral. It has exactly that much sort of narrative worth to it. But having said that, it's not necessarily a film about narrative. It is more a film about the character. And the performance Daniela Vega puts in there is genuinely terrific. It is a very moving performance. It's a film at a moment built on the internalization of all the emotional upset that's coming out in her. And I really loved how she played it. I thought it was a really, really great performance. I'm not sure what Sebastian Lelio directed. I did know there was something really good in there, and I can't remember.
I'm not sure. I can have a look.
Can't remember what it was. He's doing Disobedience. Rachel McAdams.
Yeah.
Is it Rachel McAdams and Rachel Weisz?
Yeah, he was just like, give me the best actress named Rachel.
Okay, right, okay. So just the good Rachels. How about that?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
There are no great Rachels otherwise. I don't know.
We're going to really offend someone.
We're going to really offend someone. It was someone really obvious, isn't it?
We'll think about it and we'll do our top 5 Rachels in the podcast
Extras. Okay, we'll totally do that. We'll just type Rachel into IMDb and we'll do that. But yeah, he's directing the upcoming Disobedience. But this is a really well shot film. It just doesn't have an awful lot to say narratively. But as I say, that's not strictly speaking a criticism because, it's not a narratively focused film. It's very much a character piece. So, that's entirely on me. So don't listen to me. If you want characters, go and see it. If you want narrative, don't.
I'm going to watch it. I might watch it today because I'm trying to watch everything before the Oscars, and I've nearly done it.
This is a Curzon release, isn't it?
This is, yeah. So I feel like it can be done.
It can be done, yeah. Curzon release, so you can catch it in your local Curzon. So let's see. What have we? It's over to you now for some news.
Well, I think let's just go to the top 5 because then we can have a chat. We can talk about.
You just want to get to number 1, don't you? That's what it is.
I do.
All right.
I do.
All right, fine. You know what? Here.
Number 5.
I, Tanya, or I, Tonya, as people keep calling it. I, Tanya, as I want to keep calling it.
Like you're from EastEnders. Anyway, I really liked I, Tonya. I think
it's great.
Margot Robbie's an absolute tour de force. It's the vehicle she's been waiting for since Wolf of Wall Street, I think. Alison Janney owns it, obviously. I have a lot of time for Sebastian Stan in there. I wish they'd used more of Bobby Cannavale, though. But other than that,
I'm fine with that. It's a glorified cameo. That's all it needs to be.
That's the thing, though. It seems like a character who would be a bigger part of it. Anyway, neither here nor there.
That's just like your opinion, man.
Yes, fine. It reminded me a lot of To Die For, and I really liked it. I thought it was a very gripping film, and I really liked that. I liked the attitude of it. It had a very robust, very acerbic, very almost nasty at times attitude.
Oh yeah, it's really nasty.
And it wasn't afraid to heap on its satirical commentary on the American media, which I thought was just amusing. Have we got a tweet on the subject?
Sophie Sproul says, I, Tonya, such an incredible film, and one that, I must admit, got me quite riled up.
Number 4.
You know this is. there was more of that tweet, by the way, for I, Tonya. It's quite a big tweet, but I heard something was like vibrating.
It sounded like an ominous tone, didn't it?
Yeah, so it kind of it threw me off. So there's more of that tweet. Just
find it and tweet it.
Find it. Yeah. Go read it for yourself.
Sorry, it's on Twitter.
Yeah. 50 Shades, whatever.
50 Shades 3. 50 Shades 3'd?
50 Shades 3, yeah.
3'd, yeah.
They definitely missed a trick there.
Yeah, they definitely. I think actually its audience would have very much enjoyed it in 3D, I think.
Yeah.
But I also feel like a better filmmaker would have known how to exploit that in 3D.
But he did. Glenn Ross.
Yes, it just seems that he's...
And now has stopped caring.
Yeah, he's asleep at the wheel picking up his checks now. And boy, does it show. This is the E.L. James show, and it sucks as a result. This series has genuinely gotten progressively worse with each passing installment. Jamie Dornan simply does not care anymore and is playing this off as a goof. And I'm not particularly fond of what's her name, Dakota Johnson in these films, because it's a non-character. It's
Don
a
Johnson's
drip
daughter.
character. Don Johnson's daughter. It's a drip of a character. I came away from it thinking, well, I feel like I should be flogged, but only for having watched the film rather than having requested it. So is there a tweet on the matter? I'm sure there is.
I'm sure there is. At Sierra_Miller3. I've not seen the first two, so I don't know what this first.
Did you say Sienna Miller?
Sierra,
not Sienna. Okay,
not
sorry.
Sienna.
Okay, well, so if there were 3 Sienna Millers in the world, I'd be a very happy man. I'm a big G.I. Joe fan.
And each one more annoyed at Jude Law than the last. She says, if the song Sacrifice from 50 Shades Freed soundtrack doesn't make you want to feel some type of way, you're lying.
Well, made me feel some kind of way. I didn't care.
Yeah, nauseous.
Yeah, that's it. Bored and uninterested.
Number 3.
Ladybird.
You were a big fan of this, weren't you?
Well, I've got 2 eyes and a heart, don't I?
2 eyes, 2 ears, and a human soul.
I felt joy in my heart.
Great performances across the board on this one. Can we just take a moment to single out Tracy Letts, because this guy needs more kudos in life. I'm a big fan of Tracy Letts.
Yeah, his Tony Awards and people adapting his films.
No. I don't mean winning awards. Nobody in the real world knows who Tracy Letts is.
That is a good point, and I think it's because he seemingly looks different in every film he's in.
Do you know what he has? He has that effect that J.K. Simmons had about 10 years ago. You know when J.K. Simmons was amazing things? No one knew who he was.
And then he did a Whiplash.
Yeah, then he did a Whiplash. So
he was the yellow M&M. And the really scary guy from Oz.
But yeah, Tracy Letts, I suppose, does look different in different roles. And I think
really does, yeah. He looks really different from this than he does in The Post.
It's a physicality thing, isn't it? It's how he actually sort of positions himself. I quite like that. But also, he's the best thing about Imperium. That Daniel Radcliffe neo-Nazi movie.
Yes,
he's so good in that. He's like this Alex Jones type character. He's great in it.
And he's written amazing things. He wrote Killer Joe.
He did, didn't he?
And he wrote Bug and August Osage County. Actually, I've still not seen the film.
I wasn't really a fan of August Osage County. You might as well just call it Oscar Grab the movie. But yeah. Or, Oscar Gold or something like that. But I have all the time in the world for Killer Joe. I love Killer Joe. It affected how I ate KFC for a long time afterwards.
It did put me off for a long time.
Yeah, me too. But it didn't affect my love of Gina Gershon, though. Anyway, so no, Ladybird I will turn the world for. I think Tracy Letts and Timothée Chalamet are the unappreciated souls of this movie once you get past the absolute, owning it performances of Saoirse Ronan and, of course, Laurie Metcalf. But yeah, I thought it was a really great film. It has a lot invested in, I think, the culture and the world that its character occupies, because it's a very specific time, a very specific place, and it sells you completely on it. And even outside of minor details like the soundtrack or movie posters that you see in the background or things like that. But Saoirse Ronan, she continues to be the ever-present, unappreciated star, doesn't she? But
she's 23 and she's got 3 Oscar nominations. She's doing all right.
Oh, she's doing all right. But, in the 3 years between each of those nominations, does anybody remember who she is?
Yeah, people watching Grand Budapest.
Those people.
Yeah.
But anyway, Saoirse Ronan is someone who could walk through Tesco and never be recognised.
She probably does until she opens her mouth and she's like, oh, she's very Irish. It's probably that actress.
It's probably that actress from the Irish thing about Ireland.
Yeah.
The Irish people.
Give me that Irish accent for my film, a big Irish girl.
Exactly. What we got on the tweets?
I don't know. Let's have a look.
Let's have a look.
At Nikki Pellegrino. Great name.
That is a good name.
Well done. Oh. Went to...
You say well done, like they worked hard at it.
They might have that might not be their birth name, might not be their chosen name. Not everyone is blessed with a name like Kase.
Fair enough. Go on.
Anyway, Miss Pellegrino, or Mrs., I don't know. It says, went to go see Lady Bird. So refreshing to see a movie that's not a franchise, a sequel, a book adaptation, a biopic, or most of all, a Marvel comic. Here's to originality. I take umbrage with that because that's not particularly an original statement. I take secondary umbrage because a lot of Marvel adaptations are original in their own right.
Yes, they are, aren't they?
Yeah.
One wonders how lonely it is up there on Miss Pellegrino's pedestal.
Great name. Shoddy opinions.
Very much so.
Number 2.
The greatest Jackman.
Do you think this is going to win Best Original Song on Sunday? because this is Oscar week this week, so...
It is. I think if it doesn't, I'll eat Hugh Jackman's fancy hat that he has in Greatest Showman.
Coco nominated for Best Song for Remember Me.
Yeah, songs are actually really good. This is like the strongest it's been in like 5 years.
I need to go through them on the next couple of days ahead of Oscar night.
It's Remember Me. It's a song from Marshall.
Oh, yes.
Sufjan Stevens from Call By Your Name.
It's a good category
good
this year,
list.
but I want This Is Me, Greatest Showman.
And I feel like it will. I feel like
think
it's,
so.
it's the favourite.
So I'm a big fan of the film. I know you've seen it twice, haven't you? Seen it twice
I've seen it once.
You've seen it once? Oh, with a well-experienced audience at that point, I think.
Yes, who sang along to it.
It is still doing gangbusters. And
It's doing really well, as these films are sometimes want to do. It's word of mouth.
Yeah, definitely.
Good for it. I'm more intrigued to see what the director will do, because this is the first film he's ever done.
Yeah.
I think he did it was like adverts, that's been his...
the commercial circuit.
Yeah. And now he's found himself a Jackman.
Exactly. And an Efron and a Zendaya.
Yeah, but I do love that he got this job just because he was Australian, essentially. And seriously, that's it. Like he got an advert that Hugh Jackman was working on, because Hugh Jackman is an Australian man.
He is, yes.
And the guy hiring the director thought, because he's also Australian, they probably knew each other.
Was he the guy that did one of those Mont Blanc adverts for Hugh Jackman? Because every time I see those adverts, I do want to spend an obscene amount of money on Mont Blanc products. I'm not going to lie. So
that would explain over Mont Blanc you've got on the desk.
That really would. Yeah. But I'm a big fan. You're a fan. I take it we have a tweet from a fan?
I'm not going to call myself a fan, but I'm going to say it's all right.
Okay, fair enough.
It's all right.
Do we have a fan on Twitter, though?
Yeah, at Emma Green X says, seeing at Greatest Showman for the 8th time, totally obsessed, crying face emoji. Yeah, I'd probably say so.
I never freeze.
Number 1.
Yeah. The dark cat.
Yeah, Tesco. Yeah.
I am such a big fan of this film.
Yeah, you've seen it twice now, haven't you?
I've seen it twice. I took my brother-in-law to see it last week.
Oh, yeah?
And
what did he say? What was his...
well, we just came from a funeral, and I wanted something to do for the afternoon, so I took him to see Black Panther, and my sister was at a cake shop, you see, for the afternoon. This is the family I come from. I'm not even kidding. Cake shop.
Oh, it was a Wednesday, so that's the cake shop.
That's when the cake shop opens. Was it Wednesday? Thursday? It was Thursday. Anyway...
so what's is that when you go, like, billiard...
Yeah, you do cake shops on a Thursday, billiards on a Wednesday. Anyway, I took him, and his response was, "That was well good."
High praise.
Yeah, very, very high praise from him. He wasn't aware of the existence of post-credit scenes, though. He didn't know...
Oh, did he try to get up?
He tried to get up. He didn't know that ever actually happened in a movie, that it happened in history ever at all.
Like, has he not seen it like 17 times before?
He hadn't seen it, and then he was amazed that it happened twice. So... I mean, he had his mind blown, and then he had his mind blown all over again. Like after 5 whole minutes later.
He'd put all the pieces back together.
And I was I was sat there thinking, like, why did you think I made you sit back down again? Like, the first time, you learn. The second time, never mind.
What had you got planned?
And then, who's that bloke then? Oh, that's... Insert character, name and description here.
Oh, wait, had he not...
He had no idea. And I was like, well, you have to have seen this movie. Oh, okay.
So now he's going to have to go back...
And I'm like, if you haven't seen that, how do you know where Black Panther comes from? And okay, never mind. It's a great movie.
But actually, that is good that he's not seen any of the other ones, and it can hold up.
Very true.
As a standalone film.
I recommended my dad go and see it in Dubai. I told him to take his nephew down the IMAX and catch it.
Nice.
So I have the time of my life twice in this movie. I think it's terrific.
Yeah, I'll be seeing it again as soon as I can get out of my house. Thanks to all the
Because we are snowed in.
Yeah.
It's such a ride. It's something it's uncompromising in its adventurous sensibilities. Can we take a moment as well to point out, because we've never talked about this, the single camera action sequence in the casino,
which is beautiful.
It's absolutely stunning. There's another movie this week that does something similar, but Black Panther obviously does it in a completely different way. There's a lot this kind of with completely sans edit. Pan around action sequence that follows 3 characters. Yeah, exactly. Follows 3 characters and, versus something like 50 henchmen in a casino. Sorry, 3 characters plus Martin Freeman in a casino.
And the wig as well.
And the wig. It's got the best use of a wig you've ever seen in a film.
You know, thought a wig could be good in a fight.
You never thought so. Triple's going to take a long
it's currently it's outpacing the Avengers.
Excellent.
At the box office, so it could even be bigger than the Avengers. Mm-hmm. It is now surpassed Wonder Woman in like the comic book film stakes. In its opening 4 days in America, it had made more than the Justice League had made in its whole domestic run.
Good God.
It took Justice League 90 days to do what Black Panther did in 4 in America.
Well, you can argue that the conversion rate in that case comes with quality. So, yeah.
Oh, what's that? Disney truck? Yep.
Yeah, Disney, back up that money. Come on, man. Back up that money.
That was Wakandan dollars or whatever.
Wakanda bucks. That's what it is. Wakanda bucks.
Yes, we have a tweet
Go on.
at the Kayla Chanel. I still can't get over Black Panther. I'm obsessed. Everything about the film was beautiful. My heart is full of joy.
With the latest film news and reviews, this is Offscreen, the on-screen radio show.
And we're back, Mr. Allen. So, should we roll the dice and talk about our final film then this week?
Dice movie.
Dice movie,
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. There are dice in this movie. There's a lot of dice. In fact, over the actual distributor logo for the movie, there are game board pieces. So the Warner Brothers logo, for instance, is like a game piece, and it falls over the camera. And the New Line logo, same thing. And in the background, there's Monopoly houses and dice and Game of Life, little characters coming down. So it starts off on the sort of tone that it's going to stay with. So this is a really dark comedy from the guys who wrote Horrible Bosses. So John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein, whom and I think, do you know him like I do as more as an actor, John Francis Daley?
Yeah, what else is he?
He's in Waiting and Bones.
Oh, right,
and
yeah.
Got his start in a sitcom with Gina Davis, imaginatively entitled Gina.
Yeah.
But he was her son or stepson, I forget, I don't remember.
Some kind of relation.
But yeah, so they've written and directed this, and this is their precursor, I think, to doing the Flash movie that they've not officially signed on for.
Oh, they've not signed on for it?
They've not officially signed on for it. They say they're working on it, but they've not signed anything. Anyway, so the idea is you've got a couple. You've got Max, played by Jason Bateman, and Annie, played by Rachel McAdams. They are the most competitive people in the world. And one night, they meet at a pub quiz and immediately fall in love. And they form a sort of competitive union, whereby, as a couple, they are then competitive against other couples. And this takes the form of... And this is bonkers, this one. An actual weekly game night where every week their friends turn up at their house. You think, yeah, you do it once a month, sure, but not weekly. Like we hang
You've got
out.
a different definition of the word bonkers to me.
No, but we hang out once a month. Technically we do hang out once a week as well, but...
I literally saw you like 7 days ago.
Would you want to socialise with me every week on top of this?
I don't want to socialise with anyone on top of anything. Thank you very much.
Except a pile of money. Anyway, right. So one night, their game night is joined by Max's not strange, but intentionally distanced brother Brooks, played by Kyle Chandler. By the way, Max and Brooks, do the math on that one. Anyway, clever reference, eh? Clearly they're nerds. Anyway, Brooks is an international entrepreneur. He's a venture capitalist. He invests in businesses. He owns part of Panera Bread, we're told. He's a rich guy who shows up in, the fancy 60s muscle car, 70s muscle car, got the cool house, all that stuff. He insists on throwing his own game night the following week to thank them, and he decides to kick it up a notch beyond the basic board game rules. He hires a company to abduct one of them, and the rest of them have to murder mystery night style solve the case, as it were. We have a clip.
Come on, Max. Right. And kick it, go.
Oh, this is easy. Annie, the famous actor that we met at the airport about 8 years ago.
Who?
Only actor we've ever met at an airport who's famous.
Bobby Flay?
Not an actor. This fellow was in front of us at the Sbarro. We were wondering why he wasn't in the first class lounge.
Oh, yes. Who was that?
God damn it.
Max, there's a whole room of people to help you out here.
Who's us?
Good point. He was an Incredible Hulk.
Eric Bana.
Other one.
Mark Ruffalo?
Other one.
Lou Ferrigno.
Primal Fear.
Richard Gere never played the Incredible Hulk.
Time.
Ed Norton.
Primal Fear.
Yep, Ed Norton. Everyone forgets he's the Hulk. Anyway, sorry, you were going to ask me something, was it?
Yeah, does he actually kidnap them?
Right, no, first of all, I can't tell you that, because the whole... it's a film that shifts expectations. So the reason it sounds like I've told you or not is because I actually haven't. It's one of those films that has that as the premise and then decides to very cleverly keep shifting exactly where its plot is supposed to be in a very thoughtful way that really is just built on suspense. So, I mean, there's a 5-minute period in this where you think, hang on, is this actually a comedic take on The Game with Michael Douglas and Sean Penn? Because that's an interesting idea. And then the other side think, oh, hang on, is this actually as simple as it could be? Or hang on, is this really an action comedy? I can't tell. It's really cleverly put together. It's really sharp. And I mean in that sense of like the best moments from Horrible Bosses. You know, whenever they had the three guys and they were actually quite sharp to get, like that stuff. This has got Jason Bateman playing arguably one of his most unlikable characters this side of The Gift.
Right, yeah.
Right. And there's a moment when he's in the fancy house that you think, oh my God, this is like that thriller with Joel Edgerton. The Gift. But there's fun to be had in his character being as dysfunctional and just rotten at the core as he is. And the relationship he has and the chemistry he has with Rachel McAdams really sells it. Rachel McAdams is great here as well. And this is the kind of vehicle I actually think Rachel McAdams is really suited to. But the real success of the film comes in that story and the way it really doesn't want to let you get comfortable with any aspect of what you know and what cinema has basically taught you to expect in a comedy. And it does keep pulling that rug out from under you, and I really like that. I would argue that it may play that card once too often, and that takes the form really of the last 10 minutes of the film, because it kind of has just the most brilliant resolution and then goes on for another 10 minutes with a different resolution instead. So it subverts your expectations, but then, in a delightful way, but then plays it just a bit too much. In terms of the cast, who is it that plays Winston in New Girl?
Lamorne Morris.
Yes, brilliant in there. Had a lot of fun with him. I owe Billy Magnuson an apology because he's actually pretty good in this. So I told you someone from Birth of the Dragon was getting redeemed this week. It's Billy Magnuson. Sharon Horgan, absolute hoot and a holler. I recently started rewatching Catastrophe, and
I can't wait if they really want to do a 4th season.
It's this year.
Has it been confirmed?
It is this year. Yeah, it's confirmed. But it's a genuinely great comedy. It is really sharp. It is really fun, and you must see it immediately. Kase, the first chance you get, you have to see this. It is so much fun. Film of the week. I think I'm going to go for Game Night.
Shocking enough. I've not seen anything.
If you can see it, do see the Nile Hilton Incident. Though. That was quite cool. But Game Night is just
I'll be seeing that as again as soon as the snow falls.
Fair enough. Yeah. So let's look at what we've got next week. We've got your man back next week. Mr. Cage is back next week, and we've seen this one. We've both seen it. I've seen it twice.
Look at you.
Well, I watched it with you when I went to the next screening. We've got Mum and Dad next week with Nicolas Cage and Selma Blair, because that's the big on-screen pairing we've all been crying out for. Gringo is out next week as well.
Oh, David Oyelowo.
Yep. Who else is in that with him? I feel it's
Joel Edgerton.
That's
Charlize Theron.
Thank you. There we are. Bombshell, the Hedy Lamarr story, is next week, which will be interesting to me. I know very little about Hedy Lamarr. Wonder Wheel, remember that? Yeah.
Is that Todd Haynes?
That sort of fizzled away.
A little bit, yeah.
We've got Plot 35 next week. We've got the wrestling comedy Walk Like a Panther.
Not Walk Like a Black Panther.
Not Walk Like a Black Panther. But no, he just sticks his arms out real wide and just struts.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the mask off the suit. That's how it works. Sweet Country is next week as well. We've got The Divine Order, and I'm pretty sure this could be the most interesting one next week, You Were Never Really Here, which I know you'll be looking forward to.
Yeah, it's Joaquin Phoenix hitting people with hammers.
And Lynn Ramsey as well, so there's a lot going for this film. So we've got all those to come and more next week off screen. In the meanwhile, this has been Candy Stubbridge for On Screen. I've been Ben Connor.
I have been the Nile Hilton Incident.
And we'll be back.
Just show me the way to get out of here, and I'll be on my way.
You've been listening to Off Screen. For more news and reviews, visit onscreenfilm.com.
Okay, so honourable mentions for the top 5 Rachels in Hollywood.
You jumped the gun. I haven't even looked up, but honourable mentions, go on. You do the list.
I'm ready. Honourable mentions, Evan Rachel Wood.
Does it count?
I'll say it will.
Count? Okay.
Because Westworld is so good. It counts for me. It's fine. And she used to go out with Marilyn Manson. That counts.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, that qualifies you for elite status.
Congrats. Next one, Rachel Bloom from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
She's
I have a
great.
thing for her. I think it's the Crazy Eyes. It's Crazy Eyes.
Real Crazy Eyes.
She has, absolutely.
She's fantastic.
And I love a psycho chick.
Yeah. No particular order. So first one, here we are. Rachel Weisz. Favorite Rachel Weisz performance? What would you say? Or film?
My favorite Rachel Weisz performance. Oh, I actually really liked My Cousin Rachel. I thought that was something kind of different for her because it was, a darker character.
Yeah. Also, snaps to you for mentioning the film with Rachel in the title.
Oh, yeah, I know. Cool.
Well done. That's good.
And then she's going to be in a movie with 2 Rachels in it. So yeah. So
oh my god, Rachel. She is great.
Marsha.
The Fountain.
Oh yes, she's in there. Yeah.
About a Boy.
I love About a Boy.
Yeah,
it's such a good movie.
It's great. What else? I watched a film called Definitely Maybe the other day with Ryan Reynolds.
That's like How I Met Your Mother, but as a movie.
Yeah, it's actually it's not bad.
I know it was Elizabeth Banks before she was like really huge. So
it's pretty good. Rachel Bilson.
Rachel Bilson. Oh, I miss Rachel Bilson.
As do I.
Yeah, remember when she was in everything?
Hayden Christensen.
God. Don't do that. Don't remind us about Rachel Bilson and Hayden Christensen. Go on.
No more. What's VOC, obviously.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
It's probably her big thing. What should I say? Rachel
Jumper. I remember being Jumper.
Yeah, man.
Jumper, yeah. That's where she met Hayden Christensen.
Yeah. This might be a bit of a curveball.
Go
on. Rachel Dratch.
Oh, from 30 Rock.
Yeah, I'm from
any Tina Fey thing. Yeah,
from Saturday Night Live, and she is amazing.
She is great. She's
like one of my favourite SNL.
Every time I see Tina Fey in anything, I always look around for her to turn up, and she's always there in the background somewhere.
Yeah,
and I do think
she's in Kimmy Schmidt. She's in at least the first few seasons of 30 Rock. She's just in it all the time.
I feel like she gets the most poignant sort of moment at the end of Sisters, which is like, we stop in time. I love that.
She's amazing. Another kind of curveball. Rachel House.
Oh, yes, I do.
Vicky Baker.
Yeah, that's
from World of People.
She's in Thor Ragnarok, isn't she?
Yeah, she's Topaz.
So the sidekick, the henchman.
With the big stick.
Yeah, the slaves are revolting. Yeah. I don't like that word.
Yeah.
Yeah. I take it Rachel Nichols is not...
Workers with jobs.
Rachel Nichols is not making this list, I take it.
No, because, of course, Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams. She is my queen of the Rachels.
I think she's up there, definitely.
But she's my queen of the Rachels. I'm such a Rachel McAdams fan. I wanted her to play Sue Storm in a Marvel-made version of Fantastic Four.
Would have been incredible. Yeah.
Imagine that.
It could still happen.
Just get me John Hamm,
No,
Rachel
it won't,
McAdams.
because she's in Doctor Strange.
Crap.
We could get the Hambone. Hambone could be Reed Richards still.
I think John Hamm as Reed Richards is fantastic casting.
I think it's better than him as Batman, which a lot of people seem to think.
No, never Batman. No.
Yeah,
besides, we all know it needs to be Gabriel Mark who plays Batman. So Harvey Specter needs to be Batman. That's totally it. Because he basically is Batman. That's what it is.
That is it. That was the top 5 all-time Rachels. Next week, Amy's.
Amy's.
Yeah.
That's going to be a list that's about as long, if we're honest. Can't believe Rachel Nichols didn't make that list. I love Rachel Nichols. But, I mean, another of my...
next week you take charge.
Another of my G.I. Joe dames there. But this is my thing. I fanatically adore the women of G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra. That's totally what that is. Okay, so let's have a look what news we've got. We've got no more reviews this week.
No, we haven't got big news because we've not really spoken that much about it. But the new Quentin Tarantino film has got a title, and it's definitely got Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio in it.
What is the title now? Is it?
The title is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yawn.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yawn.
It's just boring.
Oh, yeah, we get it. You like Sergio Leone. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
It's fun.
But I'm fine with Leo
and Brad
in the lead, and they are movie stars.
They are the stars, aren't they?
Yeah, that's crazy to see them together.
Yeah.
And if they were to get Tom Cruise as well, that would be kind of unheard of.
That really would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Can I chuck one in? Sony are rebooting Men in Black. It's going to be set in London. Chris Hemsworth's going to star in it.
Oh, it's going to be set in London. I didn't hear about that.
It's going to be set in London. Oh, and here's the thing as well.
Is it F. Gary Gary?
F. Gary Gray apparently is directing. This is where I got really fascinated as well. It's going to continue in the same world as the last 3 movies. So it's a reboot quel as opposed to a full reboot.
Oh.
Those movies will still happen. This is like a Jurassic World type sequel where it's just going to be a couple of years later and new characters are just going to enter the world, as it were.
I do not blame them for doing this, given how much money Jumanji has made.
Well, it's not even that. This was an obvious one for years because Men in Black has such obvious franchise potential. It's just bizarre to me they never seemed to make a good sequel out of it. I mean, the second one is an abysmal retread of the first one. The third one is... Third one's Austin Powers 2.
Yeah, but I don't mind it. I think Jermaine Clement is a good villain. I think the idea to put Emma Thompson to be the head of the organisation was really good. I like the twist with his dad.
It was more out of necessity than anything else.
It was going to be Alec Baldwin, and then he dropped out like the...
No, I mean, Rip Torn. Well, I mean, had to replace Rip Torn. But...
well, yeah. But because it goes back in time.
Alec Baldwin would have been great as well. But I loved Emma Thompson.
Yeah.
I did. But no, I just want I want a good franchise out of Men in Black because I feel like it's something... It's always deserved it. The first movie's great. And my biggest complaint about the first movie is I wish there was more of it because it was a 90-minute...
I'd have a whole film about Vincent D'Onofrio.
Exactly. Well, surprisingly, that was only a 90-minute film.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time, Barry Sonnenfeld had to defend that it was only 90 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
It's great, but it's about short.
Yeah. But and I'd say I wish there'd been another half hour or another 20 minutes, but, not. So Chris Hemsworth's going to be the lead. Apparently he will star alongside a woman of colour and an older man. They are going to be the core characters.
Okay.
So Janelle Monáe, step on up. Tiffany Haddish, step on up. I believe one of you ladies is due a gig here. Because it's clearly going to be.
I'm sure it's going to be someone like Tiffany Haddish.
I think they're going to go for... They're going to play the sort of the Will Smith type archetype, but they're going to make it female.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen. So I think we're going to get a wisecracking black woman become the sort of central figure.
It'll just be interesting to see what Chris Hemsworth's character is like.
I think he'll go deadpan.
Do you reckon?
I think Chris Hemsworth as deadpan could be quite interesting.
Yeah.
But...
he's been really funny in a bunch of films now.
That's it. So. He knows... He's proven now he knows comedy. I mean, between Vacation and this, that Crocodile Dundee thing, he's proven. Oh, Ghostbusters as well. He's a funny guy.
Oh, why is it going to be set in London, though?
To keep it away from any of the characters and events of the other 3 movies.
But it'll just make me think of The Mummy.
Yeah, but let's be honest, though. We all know this is going to wind up with the London Eye being some kind of alien artifact / death ray. Clearly where that's ending, isn't it?
Definitely. So when is Jeff Bridges going to be announced?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. It's got a release date as well. I believe it's June 2019.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, but we're moving on about it.
They're going to have to announce the rest of that casting pretty quickly.
Like tomorrow.
Yeah, because that's going to have to start filming this summer, presumably. Yeah. At the latest, it's this summer. So, and what else have we got then?
Antoine Fuqua.
Antoine Fuqua?
Yeah.
Oh, Fuqua films.
Fuqua films.
I love Fuqua films, man. They're my favourite kind of films.
They are. Fuqua flick. He was going to direct the Scarface remake, and then he wasn't.
Yeah, no, he was not, and then he...
And now he maybe will be, perhaps. He's in talks to direct it again. So
they really just want this movie very badly, don't they?
Yeah, is it still going to be...
Diego Luna?
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I feel like Diego Luna did a pretty good job. Diego Luna, I quite liked after... was it Rogue One?
Yes.
Like, I feel like the character was a bit blank, but actually, as time has gone by, I've kind of been more sold on that character. I think it works.
I could see it, definitely.
I mean, it was the most amusing thing about that awful Flatliners remake. But,
why his weird hair?
His weird haircut. Yeah. Why does he have that haircut? You're a medical professional.
Hipster doctor.
He is a bit, yeah. So, Paramount officially set a release date for the live-action reboot sequel of Dora the Explorer.
Yes.
Which is to be produced by Michael Bay. So, yeah.
Dora the Explorer will be 22. She...
Becky G. Becky G in spandex. That's totally what's going to happen. That's absolutely how this is going. What else we got? Oh, apparently the Disney merger will not affect Fox's plans for the X-Men. You know those 19 movies they've announced?
Yeah.
Yeah, because...
Like the Doctor Doom film.
Kitty Pryde
film.
Oh, Captain Marvel's got a new cast member.
Yes, he does, yeah.
This is a random one as well.
Gemma Chan?
Yeah, Gemma Chan. Did you watch Humans?
No, I've heard it's really good. The Channel 4 one.
Actually, I kind of let the side down. I watched it and then forgot to watch the finale of the first series. And then the second series happened. So I'm a bit screwed now. I think it's been enough time, too, that I've forgotten everything that happened.
I'll have to go back and watch it now.
But Gemma Chan, actually really great in that series. What I've seen of it.
Yeah, apparently she's going to be the main antagonist.
Yeah, she's an alien scientist. She's a Kree scientist, isn't she?
Yeah, which is pretty cool. Huh. Yeah, James Gunn has revealed something about Groot.
God, yes.
Yeah. I'm only really reading about this now. I saw it announced a couple of days ago. I'm only really catching up. So, what is it? Something that it's not just Groot reincarnated. It is it's Groot's son, and the original Groot is dead.
Baby Groot, as we've seen him in Guardians 2, right? That's not the same person or soul, as it were, as the one from the first movie who died and sacrificed himself.
Oh, God.
Even though Baby Groot comes from a remaining sapling of that original Groot, it's basically his offspring. So Baby Groot is son of Groot. And Groot died. And the thing is that it's been so long now, it's been 4 years since audiences, first met and fell in love with Groot, that they just assumed that Groot became cute and became Baby Groot. Now they've been told the character they loved died. He died. So you got to mourn that. And by the way, this is a new cute character that you like. To which you think, okay, fair enough.
But you'd imagine they won't do it again.
I don't know. I mean, Teenage Groot's coming with Infinity War, isn't he? But
yeah, he's going to be Teenage Groot. Is it Teenage or just like Adolescent Groot?
Adolescent Groot, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
And then we'll have a full-size Groot again, I guess.
I presume for Guardians 3 he'll be an adult again, yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
So, you know that Robin Hood movie that Taron Egerton's doing? I can't even remember what it's called anymore.
Was it Robin Hood Origins?
I think so. Is that the one with Jamie Foxx? Where Jamie Foxx
as Freitag. Tim Minchin as... Oh, no, sorry. Tim Minchin as Freitag. Jamie Foxx as Little John.
Little John, yeah. And
Ben Mendelsohn as Chef of Nottingham, which...
That's good. That's a reason to see it right there, yeah. Well, apparently that's been pushed back again. So, a matter of months. So... But it must be finished. It's got to be finished.
It's got to be, yeah.
Yeah. But, by the way, there was an article this week doing the rounds. One of those usual fan bait website articles comes from some no-name site that just conveniently happens to run a lot of very positive DC content. And it's this, report from test screening says Aquaman's fantastic. You're like, wow.
Might be.
Yeah.
Let's be optimistic.
The only problem with that is I'm pretty sure it's the same article that another website published about Suicide Squad, that another website published about Batman, Superman, that another website published about, what else are these? Justice League. They always make up things about the plot. Like, I remember reading one of these that said, oh my God, I came from a test screening last night at Batman v Superman. And this got majorly reposted as well, like publicised. Came from a screening of Batman v Superman, and oh my God, Green Lantern's in it, and there's these drones, and the entire Justice League teams up at the end. You're like, oh, shut up. Shut up, just cretin.
Go away.
Yeah. Weinsteins are officially going bankrupt. So the Weinstein Company is, is to...
it's done. Done. That's good.
So, yeah, bye-bye TWC.
Yeah.
And...
Wasn't there some claims against Bob as well, I heard?
I don't know. I've not heard that.
I think it was a while ago, but...
Huh.
Yeah, and there were reports that Harvey was up to no good in, like, the 70s it goes back to.
Well, didn't he say that? I'm sure he said that he was...
It was okay in, like, the 60s and 70s.
Yeah. I'm sure he claimed he was a product of the 60s, so the idea that he was doing it in the 70s is not that far-fetched.
Yeah, it's just like, well, of course you are.
But, here's a bit of casting I really, really like.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so Trevor Noah's his memoir, his biography, what's it called?
Born a Crime.
Born a Crime, that's it. So they're making that into a movie. I didn't know this. They're making his life story into a movie, which is kind of terrific. Cool. That's great. Good for him. He's a very clever man. I've not read the book. I would imagine it actually must be something because his story is quite interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to read the book. There's a stand-up special on Netflix that he did last year as well, which is good, I've heard.
I saw that. It was really good, yeah. Lupita Nyong'o, though, has been cast as his mum.
Yeah, and she's also going to be a producer on the film.
Yes, she is. And I think Trevor Noah himself is as well. He's producing it as well. Yeah. I wonder if this means there's going to be... He should just direct that, shouldn't he? Like, pull a Jon Stewart, go away for a month, film it.
Learn how to direct, yeah.
Yeah, he could totally do that. Yeah. So, let's see what else we've quite got on here. So, we've got something on Dungeons & Dragons, haven't we?
Fine.
Well, here's the thing.
I don't care. Dungeons & Dragons.
I know. It's like they really want a film series.
Yeah, I mean, it's never going to be better than the one with Wayans, is it? Like,
is it Marlon Wayans, Justin Whalen, and Jeremy Irons? And Thora Birch.
Yeah.
Thora Birch was in that movie.
Why try? Why try to beat that?
Oh, God.
That's as good as it's going to get.
Remember when Thora Birch was an emerging talent? I remember those days. Those were simpler times.
Happy times.
Happy times. But yeah, so apparently they're trying to remake it again. At one point, it was the guy that made Goosebumps. It was Rob Letterman. Now apparently it's Chris McKay who directed Lego Batman.
Oh, we've got a cast for the new Goosebumps.
Have we now?
Yeah, I'm not sure who it is. I think it might be one of the kids that's in... yeah, fantastic news story.
There's a thing happening. We don't know anything about it, but...
but it's supposedly happening. It's 3 assorted kids. One of them, I think, is one of the ones from It.
Oh.
And there's 2 scripts. One script has got Jack Black, another script has not got Jack Black. Because apparently Jack Black is too expensive. That film made decent bank. Just get Jack Black back.
Yeah.
That was difficult.
Get him back. That's it.
Jack Black back.
Jack Black back.
Jack Black back.
With his blue blazer black. Well, that's kind of it for me in news this week, then.
I'm done as well.
You've done as well?
My MacBook is down. That's it.
Fair enough, then.
I'm going to go have a coffee.
In which case, for your personal amusement, Mr. Allen, here it is, your moment of Cage.
I wanted Cinnabar. Cinnabar!